Good morning, everyone. Today we don't need too many props. If you have a pillow, that would be a great thing to start off with, but if you don't have one, that's fine. I have included a playlist for music, and we're going to get started. So if you have that playlist, it would be great to start it now. I just want us all to be in easy seated position somewhere on our mat. If you have a pillow, you can rest that underneath your hips. That'll open your hips a bit more. And then we're just going to begin by bringing our hands to our knees. We're going to shift our focus from the outside world to the space on our mat. To help you do so, you can close your eyes. Think about aligning your hips with your shoulders with the crown of your head. We're going to begin our practice by taking 5 cleansing breaths together. We'll inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouths. Inhale. Exhale. You can make your exhale audible. Inhale. Shifting our breath from more of an audible sound to a silent sound. Our practice today will be a lot of side body, balancing out and stretching the sides of our body. It will be a gentle practice, some more intense movement in the middle. If at any point a pose feels like it's too much, then I want you to release the warm air in your body by exhaling through your mouth. If that's not helping and you feel like you need a greater break, then at any point in practice, you should feel comfortable moving into child's pose and then meeting us again wherever we are when you're ready. We're going to begin our practice with a mantra. This week's mantra for me is inhaling, thinking I send love to myself, or I send myself love. Exhaling, I send, and you say someone's name, love. You can just gently listen with your ears as I begin to demonstrate how we'll do this mantra today. I send myself love. Inhale. Exhale. I send my family love. I send myself love. I send my family love. We'll continue that practice. You can whisper this to yourself. If you're in a setting where you don't want to speak too loudly, you can think it. I'll make mine a bit quieter so that it doesn't distract yours. So we'll all begin by saying, I send myself love. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling. I send, and you'll say someone's name, love. Repeating, I send myself love. I send my family love. I send myself love. I send my family love. I send myself love. I send myself love. I send allowing ourselves to pause here, moving from our mantra to an Ujjayi breath. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your nose. Warming up our bodies for practice. I invite you to move into any neck stretches that feel good in your body right now. Finding stillness, gently opening our eyes and bringing our gaze right in front of us. We'll inhale our arms up towards the sky. Having our palms reach. Think about inhaling again, adding some length. Exhale, bringing our left hand behind us, our right hand to our left knee. Our gaze is shifting towards the sidewall, and our shoulders are open at the sidewall. Inhaling your arms up towards the sky. Bring your palms together, exhaling. Your left hand is coming over your right knee. Your right hand is behind you. Shoulders and gaze are open to the opposite sidewall. Inhaling our arms up towards the sky, having palms reach. Exhale, moving into our original side stretch. Think about opening your shoulders to that original side wall. We're going to go a bit deeper here, shifting our gaze from the side wall to the wall behind us. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing your left hand over your right knee. Your right arm is behind you. Shoulders are open to the side wall. Gaze is going to the back wall. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Having palms reach, exhale, bringing your hands to heart center. Closing your eyes gently. Thinking about an intention for our practice today. Bowing towards your intention. We're going to move ourselves into downward facing dog. Bringing our ankles to the outer edges of our hips. Our hands are on the outer edges of our shoulders. Having a bend in our knees here, we're going to push our chest back towards our thighs, our gaze in between our legs. Let's think about going on to our tippy toes, lifting our hips up as high as they can go. And then on an exhale, bringing your heels down towards the mat, but keeping your hips lifted. Releasing your head here, maybe shaking it yes and no. Bringing our knees towards the mat, finding ourselves in tabletop. Knees are under hips, wrists are under shoulders. Finding a straight line for our spine here. We're going to begin by dropping our belly, lifting our gaze, finding ourselves in cow. On an exhale, we'll tuck our belly button, tucking our tailbone, shifting our gaze in between our thighs. Finding cat. On an inhale, moving into cow. Exhale, cat. Continuing at your own pace here. So 2 more rounds of cat and cow here. Finding our straight back. We're going to begin to walk our hands out towards the top edge of our mat, sinking our chest and our forehead towards the mat, finding ourselves in puppy pose. If this feels good in your body, you can add on to the stretch, bringing your chin towards the mat. If that's too far away, then I want you to go back to your forehead towards the mat. Gently bringing our forehead off the mat, replacing our wrists underneath our shoulders, moving into tabletop. Curling our toes and lifting our hips into downward facing dog. We're going to straighten the left leg, bending the right leg more deeply. Beginning to bend the left leg, straightening the right. Continuing to bend one leg and straighten the other. Walking out our dog here very slowly, and intentional. We're going to begin to find stillness in downward facing dog, pushing ourselves away from the mat. Bending our knees, we're going to walk our toes towards our wrists, finding ourselves in forward fold. Releasing your head here, bringing opposite hand to opposite elbow, finding ragdoll. Think about shaking your head yes and no. If you like, you can add a bend into your knees, bringing your chest closer towards your thighs. Releasing our bind, bringing our hands towards our shins, straightening our back. On an exhale, coming back into forward fold. We'll tuck our belly and begin to roll up into mountain pose. As we stand, let's think about really rolling our shoulders back. We'll do this like 3 times. After our third, we're going to keep our shoulders rolled back. Have our palms face forward. Check in with our feet, having them be shoulders width apart. Aligning our hips and our shoulders. Your chest is proud, and your gaze is directly in front of you. Let's begin to add strength towards our mountain pose. Lifting our toes, lifting our kneecaps, finding legs here that are strong. Inhale. Exhale, press your toes onto the mat, keeping your knees lifted, allowing all 4 corners of your foot to balance your body here. We're going to begin to raise our arms, raising our hands overhead, finding extended mountain pose. Checking in with our shoulders, resting, having our palms face one another, pinkies turned inward. Beginning to bring opposite hand to opposite elbow, finding that bend of ragdoll, but we're lifted. Our elbows are behind our head. We're going to drop our elbows towards the left side, adding a small side stretch here. Inhale, coming through center. Exhale, dropping our elbows towards the right side. Inhale, coming back through center, releasing our hands and finding mountain pose. Inhale your arms up towards the sky, having our hands meet for a moment. Exhale, bringing our palms to face the side walls and diving into forward fold. Inhale, straighten that back. Exhale, forward fold. Planting our hands, stepping our left foot back, stepping our right foot back. Putting ourselves into high plank here. From high plank, we'll lower all the way towards the mat. Hands come underneath shoulders. Your toes are pointed and your legs are together. Think about having your forehead on the mat. On an inhale, you're going to gently push into your hands, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze to straight out in front of you. Check in with your shoulders here. We want them rolled down, not up at our ears. Think about getting it just a tiny bit higher with each inhale. Exhale, bringing our forehead towards the mat. We'll curl our toes, keeping our knees attached to the mat here, pushing our upper body off. Finding ourselves in a variation of high plank and lifting into downward facing dog. Centering our left toes, we'll inhale our right toes up towards the sky, bending at our right knee. Having our right toes fall towards the left side, three-legged dog. Re-straightening the right leg. Exhale, bringing the right knee towards our chest and stepping through. Dropping our back knee, pointing our back toes. Inhale your arms up towards the sky, low lunge. Checking in with our shoulders. We want them rested. Our arms straight up to the sky. Palms facing each other, pinkies turned inward. Inhale. Exhale, bringing our hands behind our back. We're going to clasp our hands, bringing our shoulders back, lifting our chest, shifting our gaze from straight out in front of us to where the ceiling meets the wall. Releasing, framing our front foot. We'll keep our left hand planted and inhale our right arm up towards the sky. Gaze is up at our right hand. Bringing our hands to frame our front foot. We're going to curl our back toes, lifting our back knee. From here, we're going to move into wide angle forward fold. So coming towards the side of our mat, our feet are parallel with the short edges of our mat, and our hands are on the floor. Your gaze is in between your hands. Think about planting your left hand on the mat, inhaling your right hand up towards the sky. Your gaze is following your right hand. Exhale, planting our right hand, inhaling our left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing both hands down towards the mat, finding a straight back here and bringing our hands towards our hips. Wide angle stance. We'll heel toe our feet together so our legs are about 2 to 3 feet apart. Taking our right toes, pointing them forward, bending into our front leg. Looking at our back toes, having them come at a slight upward diagonal. Inhale your arms up into warrior two. Your gaze is at your side wall or over your front hand. straightening the front leg. We'll move into triangle, reaching forward as far as you can, dropping the back hand towards your front shin, lifting your gaze up towards the sky at your left hand. Rebending into warrior two. Back leg is straight, front leg is bent. Think about making your front leg parallel with the mat. We're going to begin to shift into side angle, bringing our front hand towards the mat, our back hand over our body, revolving our chest up towards the ceiling. You can also bring your front elbow to your front leg. Cartwheeling our hands down, framing our front foot, coming onto our back toes. We're going to step into downward facing dog. Our hands are pushing away from the mat, bringing our chest closer towards our thighs. Hips are lifted. Think about shifting our weight onto our right foot, inhaling our left toes up towards the sky. Bending our left knee, bringing our left toes towards the right side of our mat. Our shoulders are square, our hips are square. Re-straightening the left leg. Exhale, bringing the left knee towards our chest. Stepping through our hands, dropping our back knee and pointing our back toes. Inhale, low lunge. Shoulders are rested, palms are facing each other, pinkies are turned in. Inhale, exhale, bringing our hands behind our back, clasping our hands, rotating our shoulders back. Chest is puffed up. Gaze is shifting from in front of us to where the ceiling meets the wall. Releasing our hand grip, bringing our hands to frame our front foot. We'll plant our right hand, inhaling our left arm up towards the sky. Shoulders are facing the side wall. Gaze is up at your left hand. Exhale, framing our front foot. We're going to curl our back toes, lifting our back knee, moving into wide angle forward fold. Feet are parallel with one another and parallel with the short edge of your mat. Hands are on your mat or on the floor in front of you. And we'll release our head. We're going to begin to move ourselves into a deeper side stretch. So think about bringing our left hand towards our right foot, as close as we can get it. It doesn't need to be too close. And then inhaling our right arm up towards the sky. Your gaze is up at your right hand. Exhale, coming through center, bringing our right hand towards the left side, inhaling our left arm up towards the sky. Your gaze is following. Bringing both of our hands towards the mat, releasing our head once again, finding wide angle forward fold. Bringing our hands towards our hips, we're going to straighten out our back and rise into wide angle stance. Heel toeing our feet together, so our legs are 2 to 3 feet apart. We'll take our left foot and have it be perpendicular to the short edge of our mat. Checking in with our back foot, pointing it upwards at a diagonal. Inhaling your arms out to a T. Your gaze is where your hips are, so pointed forward or over your front hand. Straightening the front leg. We're going to reach forward with our front hand till we can't reach anymore. Bringing our back hand up, finding one straight line of energy between both hands. Your gaze can be down at your front foot, or for more challenging balance posture, it can be up at the sky. Rebending into our front leg, finding ourselves in warrior two, holding for 5, 3, 1. We're going to begin to shift into side angle, bringing our front hand towards the mat if that's too far away, bringing our elbow gently on our front thigh. Back hand is coming over our body, and we're revolving our chest up towards the sky. Shifting our hands down to frame our front foot, curling onto our back toe. We're going to step into downward facing dog. Pushing the mat away with our hands, lifting our hips and bringing our chest closer to our thighs. Bending the knees more generously here. We're going to walk into forward fold at the top of our mat. Inhale, straightening our back. Exhale, releasing. And we'll roll ourselves into mountain. I want you to continue to face forward. I'll begin to face you. We're going to move into a balanced pose. So shifting our weight into our right leg. We're just going to bring our left knee parallel with our hip. Finding a point in front of you to look at. We'll grab our left toes with our right hand, bringing our left heel towards the top of our thigh. Straightening our left arm, finding a balance here. Gently bringing our left hand by our side. We'll release our foot and bring both feet to the ground. Shaking out our legs here. Make circles with your ankles. And then refinding yourself in mountain pose. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Shifting our weight now into our left leg. Bringing our right knee parallel with our right hip. Gaze is in front of you at an unmoving point. Taking our right toes with our left hand, wobbly. Bringing our heel towards the top, towards the top of our thigh. Straightening our right arm out. Gently bringing our right arm by our side, releasing our foot. From here, we're going to move into some side body stretches. Bringing our palms by our side, our feet are shoulders width apart. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing your left palm towards your left thigh. We're going to move towards the left side. You bring your hand towards your abdomen. We're making sure we're not collapsing. We're still quite strong. And collapse, we're not truly stretching our body. It's important to keep that strength. Bringing both hands to face each other, finding center. Exhaling, bringing our right hand or right palm towards our right thigh. Finding that strength and then bending towards the right side. Coming back into mountain pose. We'll inhale our arms up towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold. In this forward fold, we're going to plant our left hand, bend our left leg, straighten our right leg, inhale our right arm up towards the sky. Your gaze can be at the right side or can be all the way up at your right hand. That requires some extra balance. See what feels good in your body. Exhale, begin to bring your right hand down. Bringing our left hand straight up towards the sky, straightening our left foot or our left leg, bending our right leg. Gaze is at the left side or it's up at your left hand. Shifting our weight back down to forward fold. We're going to sink our hips, sitting on our mat. Our feet will be planted into the earth. Reclining onto our back. Think about lifting your feet from the earth. Your hands are by your side. Palms are facing down. Your hips and your knees are in one straight line. We're going to drop our knees towards the left side. Bring our hands out to a T. With your left hand, before you bring that to a T, I want you to just gently bring your knees down, pushing them closer to the earth, and then bringing your left hand out. Your gaze is going to gently shift towards the right side. Bringing your gaze towards center, we're going to bring our knees back up. Our knees and our hips are in one straight line with each other. And we'll drop our knees towards the right. Maybe checking in with our right hand, bringing our knees down. If you can, continue to make your hips and your knees in one straight line. And when you're ready, you can shift your gaze towards the left. Balancing out our back stretches here. Supine twists. Bringing our gaze towards center, our knees back up towards the sky. We're going to take our arms and put them on the insides of our thighs, grabbing hold of our ankles or grabbing hold of the outside of our feet. Bringing our knees closer to our chest. And if you have your ankles, I want you to stay where you are. If you have your feet, maybe think about bringing your feet closer towards the sky as if you could step on the sky. Finding a variation of happy baby. Perhaps rolling out your spine a bit by rocking to either side. Beginning to release our toes or our ankles. We're going to bring our feet flat on the earth. Think about heel toeing them together so the soles of your feet are touching and your knees are closer to the earth, spread apart. You can bring one hand towards your chest and one towards your low belly. Finding ourselves in rested cobbler's pose. Beginning to steady our breath. We'll move ourselves into Shavasana. If you would prefer to stay in this position, I welcome you to do so. If you prefer to move into a traditional final rested position, and you can straighten both of your legs. Bring your arms by your side, your palms facing the sky. Rolling your shoulders slightly back. And in any position that you're in, I want you to gently close your eyes. Allowing your breath to go back to its normal rhythm. Begin to walk the soles of our feet back onto the mat. Waking up our fingertips here. Perhaps lifting your hips and then bringing them back down to the earth. We're going to drop our knees towards our favorite side. Bringing our knees towards our chest. Finding ourselves in a position of rebirth here. With one of your hands planted on the earth, I want you to gently lift yourself into any comfortable seated position. We'll inhale our arms up towards the sky. Exhale, having our hands come together, bringing our thumbs towards our third eye. Maybe massaging that area a bit. Bringing our thumbs towards our chin. And lastly, bringing our thumbs towards our heart center. I want to thank you all for coming to class today. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class. I am going to send out the link for Harry's yoga class today, and then that's at 8 to 8:30, and then we have class Thursday morning on New Year's Eve. Okay, everyone? Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know. One more.